I'm Chella Arnott. I'm a student at Oak Bay High School. This term, in Miss Watson's English 9 Block 2 class, we've been learning about First Nations culture. We've also been learning a lot about writing poetry. I love reading poetry, but this is one of the few times I've tried my hand at writing it, so I hope you like my poems. Creature of the wind, creature of the water, born in the depths and made for the sky. The dragonfly knows what it means to change. Like a dragonfly nymph, you are waiting for your wings as you undergo your own metamorphosis. The symbol that I chose is the dragonfly. In First Nations culture, the dragonfly represents a great change in somebody's life. This is because dragonflies mature from nymphs to adult dragonflies throughout their life. I really kept in mind the theme of change when I was writing this poem. In the last 4 lines, I use similes and metaphors to compare a person to the change that a dragonfly undergoes, or to compare a person to a dragonfly nymph. I wrote about this comparison because the change that a person can undergo in their life reminds me of the change that a dragonfly can undergo in its life. A raven, a thunderbird, embodied in movement. Everything is blurred, the world is translucent. Guided by the drumbeat, words are not needed to make this story complete. In a tradition that has been passed down undeterred, dance is a way for legends to be seen and not heard. Dance is a vital art form in many First Nations communities, and it is showcased at a lot of different events within their society, including the potlatch. Being a dancer, I wanted to write about a topic that I could relate to for this poem. In the lines, everything is blurred, the world is translucent, I wanted to describe how when a dancer is performing, sometimes the crowd and the world around them can seem completely blurred and like it doesn't really exist, so that they only focus on their performance. In First Nations art, both visual arts and storytelling are very prominent. I think that dance is a really interesting way to mix both of those, and it's a very important tradition to keep alive. Do not give in to the temptation of deceit, though the truth can hurt. My first haiku is based on the grandfather teaching truth. The idea around this poem was that it's always important to be honest, even when it's a lot easier to tell a lie. A sheep amongst wolves, birds flying with broken wings. You, a fearless heart. My next haiku is based on the grandfather teaching bravery. In this poem, I simply wanted to write about someone who was really brave, so I compared them to things that I thought represented bravery. The line, you, a fearless heart, is a metaphor describing someone that is very courageous. Waves break like fragile hearts, crashing with a solid rhythm. Raindrops break the surface in a downpour of agony. The glassy surface of the sea reflects the sunless gray sky. It seems as though the downpour will continue forever. The tempest never stops. In this poem, I wanted to describe raindrops on the ocean on a cloudy day. In the beginning of this poem, I use a simile to compare the breaking of waves to the breaking of hearts. Later, I use the metaphor, a downpour of agony. This is to create a mood of sadness. In the line, the tempest never stops, I want to demonstrate the feeling that the storm will go on forever. Sun, vivid, rich, glowing, shining, renewing. Light, fire, darkness, night. Chilling, calming, looming. Silent, neutral. Moon. For my last poem, I decided to write a Diamante poem. I based this poem off the drum that Starla Anderson brought in when she came to talk to us. The drum represented a sun and a moon. Thank you for listening to my projects. Some people that I would especially like to thank are Miss Watson for coming up with the project and helping me along the way, and Stella Pierce for always being there for moral support and helping me with some of my poems. I had a really interesting experience making this project, so thanks again for listening.